What's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here on ZSPN. And today, guys, I'm going to be talking about the Broncos' loss against the Baltimore Ravens today. I believe it's week 3 now. The Broncos are now 2-1 into the season. This is their first loss so far to the season. But before anything, guys, like always, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share my videos all over Facebook, Twitter, all the good social media stuff. Now, guys, first things first, I want to give out some, a credit to the Baltimore Ravens offense and defense. I mean, they stepped up their game, and I just heard maybe, watching the game today that today was a special occasion for I believe his name is Roy Lewis. They're gonna present him the ring. I believe it was in halftime, or maybe it was just today's game. I'm not so sure, but kudos to him. I mean, he deserves it. A great Hall of Famer, and a great player during his time in the league. So kudos to him and the Baltimore Ravens. But the main issue that I want to talk about, it is the Denver Broncos. Okay, the Denver Broncos. What can I say? The offense at first, in the first quarter, which I was really impressed with, 2 minutes into the game, the defense and the offense stepped up their game in 2 minutes into the beginning of the game today, with Bradley Chubb, with his first sack. Actually, not his first sack. It was more of his, just getting the first sack of the game, and just really went after the offense. And not to mention, I believe the Broncos, I forgot what you call them. I think it's called the punt team or something like that. It was the Baltimore kicking the punt, but they blocked it, and somehow the Broncos offense got the return for at the end zone, and Royce Freeman rushed for 6 yards for a touchdown. So it was like 2 minutes into the game, and we just really went after it in 2 minutes into the game, and got their first touchdown into the game. And they were just all over the place in the first quarter, which I was really impressed with, because most of the time the Broncos don't really do so well in the first or second quarter, but somehow everything changed. And to the point that I had to commend Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, he really stepped up his game today, with rushing a 35-yard touchdown. Usually we see him as a wide receiver, but they just decided to rush the ball to Emmanuel Sanders, and he did a great job by rushing a 35-yard for a touchdown. And we got up to 14 yards. And that's where it all ended. I was just really disappointed. I mean, they did not do nothing. They didn't do anything in the second, third, fourth quarter. The defense stepped up their game. I'm not disappointed in them. They really controlled the offensive team, but of the Baltimore Ravens. But unfortunately, there were some moments that they scored, but they were all over the place. They were trying to defend their team. So it was such a disappointing game today. I was really hoping to see them at least kick the ball a couple of times, for a field goal. I did not know why they didn't do it in the fourth quarter. It would have been probably 17 instead of 14 right now. So unfortunately, I'm not really so disappointed of this loss. I'm just disappointed of the effort. There was not a lot of effort on the offensive side. And Case Keenum, I mean, there was moments where, that you just want to just throw your controller to the TV set and just say, "Come on, Case, throw the ball and do not make an interception." I mean, it's just really disappointing. He's right now leading in the NFL in interceptions right now. So this is the same guy who last season had only 7 interceptions and having like maybe 23 touchdowns. I mean, where is that at? I mean, I mean, the guy is good. I'm not denying um, how how great, you know, Case Keenum is. But, you know, in this game, we should have saw a lot of effort from him, and I didn't see nothing. And half the time, you know, he throws the ball out of bounds because, you know, he's afraid to get sacked, and that's good on his end. But, you know, he just holds on to the ball too long. I mean, there's some moments that you should just really either rush it or just pass it to somebody who's just real close to you. I mean, it's just easy as that. But it is what it is. And the most important, the guys I really want to get into is the refs. Okay, there is a particular ref who's officiating today who is all over the case of the Broncos. I mean, he was literally calling plays and saying, you know, the offense and defense, you know, calling out penalties, and, you know, it's kind of on the Broncos' fault because they made almost about 13 penalties today, and that's really high in my opinion. So it's really sad to see that sort of performance out of the offense and also the defense. But the ref, they were just all over the Denver Broncos, and especially on Philip Lindsay, the running back. I mean, they ejected him in the game. I mean, that's mainly the reason, maybe, that the Broncos lost today, because, you know, we lost our leading running back, and, you know, all because he threw a couple punches. Yeah, of course that's wrong, but at the end of the day, you know, it was just uncalled for. I mean, I don't know, the defense, the Baltimore defense were all over the place when it came to Philip Lindsay, and, you know, I can see why he threw some punches, but, you know, still not allowed. But that's the main reason also that the Broncos lost, is because they lost Philip Lindsay. And then there was one moment into the game, I believe it was like in the second quarter, is that Chris Harris Jr., the cornerback for the Denver Broncos, I believe the Denver's I believe base team, something like that. I forgot what they call them, but they blocked a kicker. They blocked a kicker, and somehow Chris Harris Jr. Caught the ball and returned the ball for a touchdown for 75 yards. But unfortunately, there was some calls that have been made and saying that it was not a touchdown, and somehow it was just not. You know, being a fan right now, you know, it's just it would have been a different outcome for the Denver Broncos, and it's just really the reason behind it is because of the refs. So I can't be too disappointed, but, you know, it is just one loss. I mean, I know the Broncos will bounce back from this. I'm not sure who they're playing against next week, but I just know that the Broncos will bounce back from this. And I really have to say, really have to commend also to the Broncos wide receivers. I mean, they were on their A game, even though the quarterback was not on his A game, but there was moments where they caught the ball, and there was moments that they were just doing what they do best, and especially from Demaryius Thomas, who had, I believe, up to 63 yards today. It sure is not so much, you know, a good gain, but, you know, he was on his A game in my opinion, and there was moments that he shined today. So other than that, guys, I know this video was a little bit weird of how I was, you know, describing about the game today, but, you know, I just saw it from my point of view. If you guys have your own point of view about the game today, please comment down below and give me your thoughts about the Broncos loss today. And was there some moments where you agreed or disagreed on certain plays, or was the refs a little bit on the Broncos case today? I mean, please, guys, comment down below, like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Go Broncos. Peace.